Good morning, Terrans. This is your favorite alien with Bubba. Hey, Bub. Yoo-hoo, Bub. Bub. Well, he doesn't want to say hi today. Right, Bub? Um, Here we are on a Wednesday morning in Georgia. Nice and sunny. 80-something degrees today. Well, wanted to do a video today and call it Terrans. No mission statement. And it can come back to bite you and you know where. And that's what it's doing. Um, and I'll tell you why it's bad that you don't have any. Or our founding fathers for our federation, which means the 25 people that left our ancestral planet and charted our new civilization, as you would call it here. Hold on a second here. Bub got a little. Okay, we got him. Well, to let you know, mission statement here, and I'll specifically talk to the Americans. Last night, your president went on your, what you call television here, broadcasting, we would say, communications is what we would call it. Anyway, to explain, or I don't think he explained it, he more or less told you what he did. He didn't explain why or what good it was. It really wasn't any good. But that's a different story. But anyway, and the problem with that is the United States, like any other country on this planet, never set up a mission statement. And the one guy, if you read his farewell address, George Washington, when you read in between the lines on his farewell address, that's what he was lamenting. Because he knew what was coming down the pike. And boy, was he right. It started a little bit with his Vice President Adams when it took over. And Thomas Jefferson was the first guy that really made it. He came in with agendas. And every president since has come in with agendas. And that's something that I told you in my other videos before. The United States should be the United States, no matter who is president, in Congress or in the Supreme Court. It does not matter. You should have a mission statement. And without that, you have no guidelines. You have no guidance. You can't steer the ship. So therefore, you're going to hit ground, sink the ship, or whatever you want to call it. But this is what's happening here, Americans and Terrans. Look, when you are a top of the line, or as you call them down here on your planet, top dog country here, and you act the way the United States has in the last 25 years, I mean, who would have respect for the Americans? Nobody. Because you can't be policemen and you cannot be saying blame for what you did. And as an alien speaking from another planet that sees this in a different way, just an aside to President Trump, you created the Iranian crisis. I don't mean you personally. I mean Americans. You created your own crisis in Iran by, as you would say, meddling in their affairs. You don't like it when the Russians meddle in yours, do you? But then again, you meddle in other people's affairs. In Iran, you created. You know it, and I know it. Just tell the American people that you guys are responsible for it. When you guys made that coup in Iran back in the 1950s to put the Shah back on power, they hated the Shah big time in Iran, and you guys didn't know that. That created a big stink. And it created Ayatollah Khomeini. He wouldn't have had the power he had unless you guys went over there. You should have let Iranians take care of their own business. They may have been bad, yes, but that's their own business to be bad, isn't it? You don't have a prime directive that says you shall not interfere in other people's affairs. And see, and then again, whether it's good or bad, the last three presidents of this country, United States, have really created a problem for future generations. Who would want to hear the United States? Nobody, because of the problems you created. President Obama, if you read this video, you created the problem of trying to answer for the United States' mistakes. That is a no-no. President Bush, you came in with an agenda that caused all these problems. And President Trump, you're looking for an America that has never existed and never will exist. And you are trying to do what Obama is to undo everything he did. Remember, when a predecessor does something, you have to honor it, no matter how good, how bad, how terrible it is. But speaking as an alien here from another planet, I don't see you guys have any comprehension, even your leaders. Sure, that deal with Iran was terrible. But hey, aren't most deals terrible? Look at the deal that ended the World War I 100 years ago. That was a terrible treaty. Yet nobody mentions it. And who took advantage of it? Hitler. Look at the World War II ending. That was terrible too. You guys brought in the nuclear weapons that's created all these problems. Look at the Korean War. You got an armistice there. And you haven't done a treaty yet. But I hope you don't do a treaty, just like the one you did for Versailles that ended the armistice in 1918. You guys wanted a treaty to punish Germany. And then the Americans under Mr. Wilson went over there and caused even more headaches. Of course, the Europeans told him to go stick it, and all his 14 points went down the drain. But the only thing that survived, unfortunately, was the thing that shouldn't have been survived at all, the League of Nations. That, along with the United Nations, was a joke. There is no such thing as League or United Nations, even today. So, without any mission statement, Americans, what are you going to do? Is the next president coming in after Trump going to undo everything that Trump did? As he tried to do with Obama and Obama tried to do with Bush? What is wrong with you guys? A leader is supposed to be a caretaker of your country. Set up a mission statement. Find out what the heck it means to be an American or a Terran. But if you don't know what it is to be American, how are you going to know what it is to be a Terran? How can you talk to your other countries if you don't even have anything in common? That's the problem. You guys got nothing in common. You do this, another country does that, another country does that. And you expect deals to survive. How can you? When you don't even have a united anything. So this is an alien point of view. Thanks.